Welcome to another in the series, Real Talk in the Face of Danger, the podcast by the Department of Emergency Management. I'm your host, Diane Fort. Today, we're going to talk about home and property insurance. And our special guest is Donnell Belgrave-Young, Assistant Manager, Insurance Operations with Sagicor General Insurance. Hello, Ms. Belgrave-Young, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you for the invitation. Thank you very much.
As the experts in the field, tell us, why is it important to insure our homes and property?
As a homeowner, as somebody who has made a serious investment in making sure that there's something for my other generation to come, insuring your home must be looked at that way as well. You have to think about it as an investment. And if something should happen to that investment, do you have cash? Do you have something that you can pick up and start over again? And that is why we are here as an insurance company. We want to make sure that you are always in a position that should something happen, that we are in a position to put you right back where you were. You don't have to worry about those things. And for me, that is very important why anybody should insure your property.
It is indeed an investment. Now, we realize that with mortgages, you always have to insure the property, probably because, it's owned by the financial institution until such time as you've paid up your mortgage. But outside of that circumstance, are there specific prerequisites to qualify for home insurance?
Well, the word prerequisites make it sound very much like it's going to be a hard task, but insuring your home is very easy, actually. What I will say, you should have a basic idea of what your sum insured, and when I say sum insured, what the replacement value of that home should be. You should have that as a basic idea. Of course, you should own the property. You don't want to encourage you insuring property that doesn't belong to you because you want to make sure somebody is financially secured. But make sure, one, the property belongs to you, and two, you have a very basic idea of what that replacement value for your property would be.
We say home and property, and a lot of times we're thinking of the physical house itself. But property could, of course, be the contents. Is that what you talk about when you say property?
Very good question, and it is. Property could be so wide and general that it can include contents as well. And contents to get even a little bit more granular when you start looking at your special valuables, things like your jewelry, your laptop, your cell phone. So it could get very granular. And the thing about Sagicor General is that we have a package for each and every one of those things, no matter how small or how big the item could be. But yes, property does include contents as well.
What about in the case of disasters? Like recently we saw a number of homes in Barbados damaged by the passage of Hurricane Elsa. We had the ash fall a little before that. And from time to time, things happen. Does insurance coverage work in those cases, or is that perceived as an act of God kind of thing?
Well, one of the things that we live in the Caribbean and what we try to cover are those very natural disasters. So Hurricane Elsa would have been something covered by the insurance company, and the ashfall would have been covered as well under your homeowner's policy. So whatever you can conceptualize, even though they may appear as acts of God, those natural disasters are covered by an insurance policy, and usually we like to refer to them as a comprehensive homeowner's insurance policy, so that you know when you say comprehensive that you've actually included those natural disasters.
Are we doing well as a nation in terms of insuring our homes, or is there a lot more that we need to be doing?
Well, I don't have statistics, but of course, from our clientele, from our portfolio, we are doing fairly well in terms of homeowners. I do find that, and it may be because of the times that we are in right now, especially with COVID, that persons may be a little lax in terms of renewing their policies, or they may be a little hesitant in taking out the new business because they're looking at their dollars, right? But of course, we would encourage people to insure their homes. I encourage them to give us a call to find out what packages are available, what type of payment plans are available. But in terms of statistics, I don't have that. But I think from a perspective of our portfolio, we're doing fairly well on the homeowner side, but we just wish that persons would pick up along those lines in terms of the home insurance.
Well, we certainly want to encourage that because, as you said, we are right in the belts where we can be faced by so many natural disasters here in this region. So it's important that we protect ourselves. Now, I don't want to put you on the spot, but some people are always wary of insurance because it's like you go forward, you take out your policy, you're paying your premiums every month, and then a storm or something has passed and we have property damage, fire or whatever, and we're now looking to make good on that claim. How does that really work?
All right, in terms of the claims, I would say that to make that process a lot easier is that once you have itemized, especially if it was content, if you have itemized those items in your home and you know what damage has occurred to those items, that's the first thing that we can begin with. Give the claims officer that idea of the cause of that damage. And then there are the forms. The forms, of course, are fillable. They are virtual. You can join us online and complete those forms. And as soon as you do that, there is an assignment to an actual claims officer. We move that from the virtual world into somewhere you can actually talk and guide you through that process. So for the claims, in that regard, it is very easy. It is still very personable, and that is still good for us. In terms of where it can get sticky, where persons might ask you for additional information, I would say that it would be good at the time of linking with a claims officer that whatever it is that may have stopped that natural process from happening, that person walks you through the process. I know that the other thing, and I think where you wanted me to go is where where we're saying, we may not be able to pay the claim, or we may, because of some type of wording or some type of cover that wasn't offered. But again, that for me is always going to be a case-by-case basis, and it's always going to be where you link up with a claims officer to walk you through that process.
Okay, and that's certainly fair. Before you go, just tell us if there's anything else that we really need to know about the importance of insurance coverage for our home and property as we look at disasters that could happen to any of us at any time.
Yes, very good question. One of the main things I want persons to really consider and to focus on is that value of your property. It's very disheartening that when the natural disaster occurs, when the claim is submitted, that we're saying, oh dear, look, this is under insurance. And yes, I could get that. Sometimes when we say, well, your property really needs to be bumped up, your replacement value needs to, to be reflective of your home replacement value. No, we understand that the premium can get a little bit more costly. And, of course, there are plans that you can use to help make that payment more palatable. But, of course, the objective is to make sure that your home is adequately covered. I really can't stress that enough. Make sure your home is adequately covered, especially during the hurricane season.
And that's a great point on which to say thank you so much. Make sure you're adequately covered. You could always contact Sagicor General Insurance or the insurance company of your choice. Today, we are speaking to Donnell Belgrave-Young, Assistant Manager, Insurance Operations with Sagicor General. Real talk in the face of danger. Thank you so much, Ms. Belgrave-Young.
Thank you for having me. Really appreciate it.
And be sure to join us again for another in the series by the Department of Emergency Management.